Hey guys, we are back to Dragon Age. Let's load our game. Look at that. He's in his underwear, I promise. Let's load game. Alright. See, he's in his underwear. But, this town's guard we don't need anymore. He's just a town's guard. So what we're going to do is take everything away from him. He can get his own gear later.
Right.
Alistair, I need you to get your gear equipped. Here's your iron mace. And that's in the green. Alright. Let's continue. Town guard. No gear, good. Let's mess with this mage too. Let's make him go naked as well. So we don't care about those two. Alright. Don't need us two.
And so I shall.
Cutscene. Crap. Are we really fighting that big boy? Alright. Player profile? No. We'll just resume. Take him on. Let's go. Bye-bye. Nope. Go fight.
Right. Of course. Of course. Okay, we'll go with you now.
Are you kidding me? Really?
On them.
Load game. Load game. That was crap. If we go in there, got a mage to take out. Worth the money. I'll let him keep his stuff. But the card, I need a town's guard. You are losing that and that. We'll have you fight naked. Alistair. Let's go. We already seen this part. Alright.
Think you good enough to take me?
Right at the last second, we're taking the stuff. Yeah.
The beacon is over here. We've surely missed the signal. Let's light it quickly before it's too late.
Alright. Woo! That was a close call. Yeah. Woo!
Sound the retreat.
But what about the king? Should we not...
Do as I command.
Are you kidding me? I don't like that guy. He an asshole. Sorry for my language.
Pull out! All of you, let's move!
Why should you listen to his command? The king has overrules you. Boy, you're gonna die. We're gonna stab you in your mouth. Cut your mouth off. You better be careful, buddy. I don't want to fight that big boy alone. Because last time I died. Yeah. Want to see if the king survives. Oh yeah. He's gonna kick some butt. Oh, yeah. Kill him. Oh no. Come on, Duncan. Save him. Save him, Duncan. Oh, that's not good. He's dead. Alright. Duncan, go kill him. He slapped you out of the way, but go back and kill that big boy. You're gonna win this. Come on, Duncan. I believe in you. Yeah. Yeah, there's Duncan. He's out. Oh, yeah. Take that, you giant monster. Except for the king's dead. That's right. Dead. No, go fight more. Come on. Sucks. He's dead. I like the king. Like, I didn't trust him at first, but I do like him. He was awesome. That's a short game. Messed up. Wait, I play as Morgan now? Oh,
Ah,
I'm alive?
Your
What?
eyes finally open. Mother shall be pleased.
That is Morgan, right? I think she's Morgan, I'm not sure. What happened to the Darkspawn? I remember you, the girl from the wilds. Yes, where am I? Right here.
I am Morrigan, lest you have forgotten.
Hey, Morgan.
And we are in the wilds, where I am bandaging your wounds. You are welcome, by the way. How does your memory fare? Do you remember Mother's rescue?
Wait, what happened to the army? To the king. That's what I'm gonna choose. I know what happened, but I remember doing overwhelmed by Darkspawn. She's rescued me, you mean, from the tower. Right here.
The man who was to respond to your signal quit the field. The Darkspawn won your battle. Those he abandoned were massacred. Your friend, he is not taking it well.
My friend, you mean Alistair? What happened to the Grey Wardens and the king?
All dead. Your friend has veered between denial and grief since Mother told him. He is outside by the fire. Mother asked to see you when you awoke.
I have some questions, if you don't mind. Yeah, we'll do that.
I do not mind. Take your time.
Why did your mother save us?
I wonder at that myself. But she tells me nothing. Perhaps you were the only ones she could reach. I would have rescued your king. A king would be worth a much higher ransom than you.
I happen to be of royal blood, you know. Much, much higher. Coin is important to you out here.
Who says I would ransom for coin? Gold has its uses, I suppose, but power buys far more.
I think I've asked enough questions. Oh, so Morgan's sketchy. Okay. Are we safe here? Where are the Darkspawn?
We are safe, for the moment. Mother's magic keeps the Darkspawn away. Once you leave, 'tis uncertain what will happen. The Horde has moved on, so you might avoid it.
Okay. How did she manage to rescue us exactly?
She turned into a giant bird and plucked the two of you from atop the tower, one in each talon. If you do not
Okay.
believe that tale, then I suggest you ask Mother yourself. She may even tell you.
I think I've asked enough questions. Are there any survivors besides us?
Only stragglers that are long gone. You would not want to see what is happening in that valley now.
Why? What's happening? This one down here. Why did Tyrion abandon the king? Or, you're right, I wouldn't. We'll do this one.
I do not know who this Loghain even is. Perhaps ask Mother of it.
I think I've asked enough questions.
I agree. 'Tis time you speak with Mother, then be on your way.
I still have something
You
to
must speak to Mother, then be gone. You have an army of Darkspawn to avoid, and 'twould be best to get an early start.
Were my injuries
Yes,
severe?
but I expect you shall be fine. The Darkspawn did nothing Mother could not heal.
What happened to Alistair? Is he alright?
He is, as you are. I suppose it would be unkind to say he is being childish.
Very unkind. Those were his friends.
And you think they would encourage his blubbering? If so, they are not the sort of Grey Wardens the legends note.
Why does your mother want to see me?
I do not know. She rarely tells me her plans.
I have some questions, if you don't mind. Thanks for helping me, Morgan.
You were welcome. Though Mother did most of the work, I am no healer.
I got some more questions.
I do not mind. Take your time.
If you're not a healer, where is that one? Nope.
I agree. 'Tis time you speak with Mother, then be on your way.
Alright. Ooh, a chest. Let's get it. Metal round shield. Oh, we're taking that. Is that everything? I guess so. Alright. Here's Alistair.
See, here is your fellow Grey Warden. You worry too much, young man.
You're alive. I thought you were dead for sure. I'm
not, thanks to Morgan's mother. Afraid you were going to be left alone. I'm fine. I appreciate your concern. It takes more than a few Darkspawn to kill me. Let's say this one.
Duncan's dead. The Grey Wardens. Even the King. They're all dead. This doesn't seem real. If it weren't for Morrigan's mother, we'd be dead on top of that tower.
Do not talk about me as if I am not present, lad.
I didn't mean... But what do we call you? You've never told us your name?
Names are pretty, but useless. The chastened folk call me Flemeth. I suppose it will do.
Flemeth?
Flemeth? From the legends? Daveth was right. You're the Witch of the Wilds, aren't you?
And what does that mean? I know a bit of magic, and it has served you both well, has it not?
Who cares what she is? We need to do something now. So why did you save us? If you're Flemeth, you must be very old and powerful. We can't be safe here. Where are the all the Darkspawn. I suppose we should thank you.
Well, we cannot have all the Grey Wardens dying at once, can we? Someone has to deal with these Darkspawn. It has always been the Grey Warden's duty to unite the lands against the Blight. Or did that change when I wasn't looking?
Of course not. It changed when most of them were slaughtered. The Grey Wardens are no more. Let someone else do it. The land is hardly united thanks to Loghain.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would he do it?
Now that is a good question. Men's hearts hold shadows darker than any tainted creature. Perhaps he believes the Blight is an army he can outmaneuver. Perhaps he does not see that the evil behind it is the true threat.
The Archdemon.
Yeah, we need to find this Archdemon. What is this Archdemon exactly? Alistair is the real Grey Warden here, not me. Will you help us fight the Blight, Fleming? We should contact the rest of the Grey Wardens. What could Tyrion hope to gain by the betrayal of the king? Right here.
The throne? He's the Queen's father. Still, I can't see how he'll get away with murder.
You speak as if he would be the first king to gain his throne that way. Grow up, boy.
If Al Eamon knew what he did, he would never stand for it. The Landsmeet would never stand for it. There would be civil war.
Earl Eamon is someone important. Perhaps we could go to him then. You think that Ariel would believe us over the Tyrion?
I suppose. Al Eamon wasn't at Ostagar. He still has all his men. And he was Kaelin's uncle. I know him. He's a good man, respected in the Landsmeet. Of course, we could go to Redcliffe and appeal to him for help.
Surely, there are other allies we could call on. This sounds like an excellent idea. Keep in mind that Loghain was also an honorable man. Everyone will see the danger the Blight possesses, right? And say he doesn't help us, then what?
You have more at your disposal than merely old friends.
Of course! The treaties! Grey Wardens can demand aid from dwarves, elves, mages, and other places. They're obligated to help us during a blight.
I may be old, but dwarves, elves, mages, this Arl Eamon, and who knows what else. This sounds like an army to me.
So can we do this? Go to Redcliffe and these other places and build an army?
Why not? Isn't that what Grey Wardens do? As long as there's some profit in it. Whoa. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I doubt it will be as easy as that. Right here.
Take one step at a time. But it is not so bad to know where those steps will lead you. Yes?
It's always been the Grey Warden's duty to stand against the Blight. And right now, we're the Grey Wardens.
So you are set then, ready to be Grey Wardens.
As ready as we'll ever be. I'd be happy with just staying alive. I don't suppose you could offer any more help. Yes, thank you for everything, Fleming.
Now that you mention it, I do have one more thing to offer.
The stew is bubbling, Mother dear. Shall we have 2 guests for the eve, or none?
The Grey Wardens are leaving shortly, girl. And you will be joining them.
Such a shame. What?
You heard me, girl. The last time I looked, you had ears.
Well, that's not what I expected. Think that's an excellent idea. What makes you think we want her? Thank you, but if Morgan doesn't wish to join us, yeah, right here.
Her magic will be useful. Even better, she knows the wilds and how to get past the Horde.
Have I no say in this?
You have been itching to get out of the wilds for years. Here is your chance. As for you, Wardens, Consider this repayment for your lives.
Very well. She had better be useful, as you say. Was this your idea all along? Well, she's wants us to take her daughter. Okay, so if we do the top one, yeah, we'll do the top one.
Not to look a gift horse in the mouth, but won't this add to our problems? Out of the wilds, she's an apostate.
If you do not wish help from us illegal mages, young man, perhaps I should have left you on that tower.
Point taken.
Mother, this is not how I wanted this. I'm not even ready.
You must be ready. Alone, these two must unite for Eldon against the Darkspawn. They need you, Morrigan. Without you, they will surely fail, and all will perish under the Blight. Even I.
I understand.
And you, Wardens. Do you understand? I give you that which I value above all in this world. I do this because you must succeed.
I understand. We don't need her help. She won't come to harm with us.
Allow me to get my things, if you please. I am at your disposal, Grey Wardens. I suggest a village north of the wilds as our first destination. It is not far, and you will find much you need there. Or, if you prefer, I shall simply be your silent guide. The choice is yours.
I think we should just get to Underway. No, I prefer to speak your mind. No, I prefer you speak your mind. I have no problems with your presence if Alistair doesn't. Actually, I have some questions. I know I prefer you to speak your mind.
You will regret saying that.
Dear, sweet mother, you are so kind to cast me out like this. How fondly I shall remember this moment.
Well, I always said, if you want something done, do it yourself. Or hear about it for a decade or two afterwards.
Do you really want to take her along because her mother says so?
Oh, get over yourself. We need all the help we can get.
I guess you're right. The Grey Wardens have always taken allies where they could find them.
I am so pleased to have your approval.
I think we should just get underway. I have some questions.
I may have answers. Ask.
Are you really Flemin's daughter?
'Twas she who raised me, and thus I consider her my mother, born from her womb or not. 'Tis what you meant, yes?
It's just different to imagine her. I was just wondering her age. She's just going to stay here alone?
Mother was alone long before I came, and will be so long after I am dead. Such is her choice, though I suspect she would claim the choice was made for her.
Have you never been outside the wilds? Yeah.
From time to time, I have been to the village I mentioned, watched its people, and pondered what curious beings they are. On occasion, I purchased goods from the village merchants. There I spoke with men a little. There they stared and knew me as an outsider. Mother wishes for me to expand the horizon of my experience beyond the wilds. Even she was not born here.
Is that what you want? I'll just do 1, 2, 3, yeah. But tell me about this village to the north. How are we going to pass the Darkspawn? What skills do you have exactly? I have no more questions. Yeah.
I know a few spells, though I am nowhere near as powerful as Mother. I have also studied history and your Grey Warden treaties.
Can you cook?
I can cook, yes.
Never mind him. You don't have to cook. Then you can substitute for Alice. No. Excellent. You'll at least be of some use.
You missed your chance. Now it's charred rabbit from here on out.
I'm not gonna be that jerk that's like, oh, you cook right now. No. How are we going to get past the Darkspawn?
The real question is how we are going to get your friend past the Darkspawn, is it not?
That's true. We can sense the Darkspawn. Conversely, they can sense us.
I don't sense any Darkspawn. That's not reassuring.
You won't right away. No. It takes time. We should be able to sneak past smaller groups, but larger ones, or particularly intelligent Darkspawn, will always detect us.
Mother has given me something else for them to smell instead as we pass by. 'Tis important we head out of the wilds, however, not farther in.
The Darkspawn are cramped farther in the forest. Are camped farther in the forest. Tell me about this village to the north.
'Tis a small place of little consequence called Lothering. No more than a stop along your Imperial Highway where travelers purchase goods from local farms and smiths. I would go more often were it not for the town's chantry. It makes the village particularly intolerant and unpleasant for a stranger such as me.
A chantry? And they never in all this time thought that maybe you were a witch?
Of course they have. They even called out their Templars once. They found nothing.
Is there any reason to go to Lothering them? Go to and Lothering them.
I mention it for its tavern, where travelers gather with news from other places. 'Tis small enough that our appearance might go unnoticed. Beyond that, 'tis close, and I know the way.
I have no more questions.
Farewell, Mother. Do not forget the stew on the fire. I would hate to return to a burned-down hut.
Bah! 'Tis far more likely you will return to see this entire area, along with my hut, swallowed up by the blight.
All I meant was...
Yes, I know. Do try to have fun, dear.
We got you, Morrigan. See what your armor is. 2 of 1 resistance to cold. We snagged the other mage's armor. What's this one look like? Alright. Yeah, we gotta give her that. Staff. Morgan's staff is better. Alright. We got me. I have my crossbow, yes. Alright. We got him. Give him mage's ropes. No, I'm just kidding. He's gonna have that chainmail. The shield he has now does damage to Darkspawn. Yes. Alright. And then me. I'm good. Let's go. Wait, I gotta talk to Mom.
Have you not left yet? I hope you are not hanging about for some stew.
I am.
Huh. I prefer to remain here. Considering what the world has done to me, I have already done more than it deserves. That is between the world and me. Your business is elsewhere. It is not a matter of power. No one person in all of Thedas has enough power to stand against a blight. Were that the case, sending you two would be quite the jest. What is important is that you are both Grey Wardens. Your task is to unite the land, inspire its men, and turn them from their petty politics to face the archdemon. In that, you are more powerful than I by far. I am but an old woman whom the world has largely forgotten.
You gonna be all pretty and tough, grape girl? Sorry, I had myself muted. Anyway, and what has the world done to you? You could answer some questions. Could you?
Questions, questions. One would think a Grey Warden would be more interested in action.
Can I ask about your magic?
What good would it do you? You are no mage. It is sufficient that I have passed on my knowledge to Morrigan, and I pass her on to you.
Like a worn dress or an old pair of shoes.
Are you still here? You cannot give them away, apparently.
How long have you lived in the wilds?
Since before I was wrinkled and old. Ah, you may think it strange, but I was once young and beautiful, just as Morrigan is now. Yes, men desired Flemeth then, and some even killed for her.
You don't seem happy about that.
I am not, nor was I then. It dictated all that followed. But enough. You have your task to complete.
What will you do once we're gone?
Have a moment's peace for once.
I hear the peace of the grave is eternal.
This is the thanks I get for feeding you and putting up with you for this long. Ah, may your child one day treat you the same.
Feed me, she says. Without me, I swear, she shall be caked in dirt and eating tree bark inside of a month.
Do you have any advice?
About the Darkspawn?
Yeah. No. Not anything, really.
Then hear this. I laugh at a world full of stupid humans who ignore the Blight's evil and abandon their vigilance to chase mortal goals. Remember, it is up to you to destroy the Blight. Pray not for someone else to destroy it. It will always nip at your heels.
Alright, no more questions.
Then we are done. Now, if you will excuse me, I have some dinner to eat.
Let's go inside and get some dinner. Come on. Dang it. Can I have...
Have you not left yet? I hope you are not hanging about for some stew.
I am.
Yes, you should. You have a whole lot of Darkspawn to get past before you sleep.
She's mean. And I hope Morgan gives us some humor, because now she gets to speak her mind. Because I said she could. Yeah. Nothing. My power's destroyed. Oh, game saved. No. Oh yeah. Gather my party adventure for it. Who is in my party? I don't know.
Have you not left yet? I hope you are not hanging about for some stew. Questions, questions. One would think a Grey Warden would be more interested in action.
I'm gonna ask 2 more questions. Oh, never
Then
mind.
we are done. Now, if you will excuse me, I have some dinner to eat.
I'm out. This girl, she's a mean, old jerk. Let's go. So we can go to my campsite and Alistair. Oh my gosh, are you saying that I can get a whole army? And there's Morrigan by herself. Why is she by herself?
What do you wish of me?
I'm going to ask you something.
If you must.
When did you become a...
I was not born such. 'Tis a skill of Flemeth's, taught over many years in the wilds. The chastened have tales of we witches, saying that we assume the forms of creatures to watch them from hiding. When a child is alone and separate from his tribe, that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to be devoured. A most amusing legend.
Your mother has been doing this for a long time then.
Changing her form, certainly. Devouring lost children, I cannot say. She has not done it in my experience, though in truth my lifespan is but a fraction of her own. Why do you ask? Is there something specific you wish to know?
Can you change into other human forms as well?
The form of an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature, learn to move as it does, think as it does. In time, this allows one to become as it is. I gain nothing by studying another human. I already am the same as they are. I learn nothing. So the answer is no, my human form is the only one I possess.
Okay. You spent a lot of time as an animal?
There were nights when the wilds called to me, 'tis true. You look upon the world around you and you think you know it well. I have smelled it as a wolf, listened as a cat, prowled shadows that you never dreamed existed. But my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary.
Okay. What do other animals think of you when you're changed? Can anyone become a shape changer? I've never heard magic like that before. That's all I wanted to ask. Let's go up here.
They do not shy away from me. To their senses, I believe I seem like any other of their species. As to what they think, I truly cannot say. Just as I am still human, no matter my form, they are still animals. Thus they cannot speak, even were I to ask.
Can anyone become a spell changer?
Anyone with sufficient will, but the act of transformation is a magical one. 'Tis a spell, and thus requires a mage's talents. If you had a notion to learn such a skill for yourself, sadly, you must remain disappointed.
I never heard of any magic like that before.
No? 'Tis not unheard of in the remote corners of the world. There are traditions of magic outside of the circle of magi, despite what those mages would have you believe. Some of these traditions are old, indeed, passed down as carefully guarded lore from one generation to the next. The zealots of the chantry would uproot all such practitioners if they could, but as luck have it, some still exist. My mother is such a one.
Okay. By practitioners, you mean apostates, don't you?
Not all apostates use the forbidden blood arts. Maleficarum do, but to condemn all who do not fall under the circle's thrall for the sake of what might be is a dangerous path to walk. There are those who look on the word apostate as meaning freedom.
That's all I wanted to ask.
Indeed. Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch?
Doesn't seem a little unrevolting. Maybe tied to the flagpole and tickled. I'm gonna do that. That would just make you angry, I think.
I wouldn't advise it. But enough of such talk. Let us proceed, lest the dust gather on us.
I was just playing around. Oh, she approves 1. Awesome.
What do you wish of me? If you must.
Isn't really what she seems to be.
Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be?
A nutty old bat.
Sometimes I do wonder the very same thing. Tell me,
How much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
I'm more interested in the truth. I've heard a little of it. Didn't even know there was such a thing. Spare me the bedtime stories. Tell me, how much do you know of the tale of the one that you'll tell them my mother and frighten them off? I didn't even know there was such a thing. Yeah.
Ah, I see. That does explain much. I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire.
And the point would be, alright, don't make it quick.
As the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful. A fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her.
And how long ago is this?
Many centuries, before this land was even named Ferelden. The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the Bard, and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conobar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conobar the jealous lord, who looked on from afar. Lord Conobar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife, and Osen agreed.
He sold his wife to another man. Right there. No.
The life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement. All would have been well had Lord Conobar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge.
She spoke to the spirits or demons. What? But wasn't she now married to the wealthier man? Right there.
Spirits first, and 'twas they who slew Conobar. Flemeth did not turn to the demon until much later. Lord Conobar's allies chased Flemeth, you see. Chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her strong. The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies.
Of course, Flemeth would say that. Which she never invaded, or he never defeated her.
The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero. Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
Do you believe her version?
I do not believe everything that Flemeth claims. Oft it seems her bitterness has colored her memories. But on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all.
Okay. How much is that Flemeth has survived for so long? The legend tells of Flemeth having many daughters. Yeah, right there.
You ask if I have sisters. I have asked of this myself. The stories tell of many witches of the wilds after all, not just the one. And these tales existed long before I did. Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters, if they existed. So, should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too.
Okay. An interesting story. Thank you.
Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I, but you are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless.
My mother died a long time ago. There is nothing really to say about her. I love her. What else do you want to know? I keep her curiosity to myself. Right here.
Ah, then you have my sympathies for what it is worth. Which is very little, I am certain. It matters not. Let us move on.
She approved 6. So we're making her approve greatly. Heroic accomplishment. Alright.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something. No, never mind. Let's go talk to Alistair. See what he has to say about Morrigan.
What do you need?
What do you want to talk about, Duncan?
You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
I just thought you might need to talk. That doesn't mean I don't mourn his loss. He was like a father to you, I understand.
I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it, not when so much is riding on us, not with the Blight and everything. I'm sorry.
Oh, darn it. There's no need to apologize. Yes, well, let's forget about it right here.
I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive. I don't think he had any family to speak of.
He had you, that's what I would say. What about the other Grey Wardens? That's an excellent idea. I doubt you'll get the chance. Right.
I think he came from High Ever, or so he said. Maybe I'll go up there sometime. See about putting up something in his honor. I don't know. Dwarves don't practice cremation, do they? How do your people honor your dead?
We entomb our dead within the stone beneath our eggs. Our ways are not your ways, nor Duncan's. I'd rather not discuss it.
I heard about that, now that I think about it. Their spirits return to the rock, strengthening the foundation of the tide. It sounds so strange.
No stranger than burning your honor dead to ashes. Don't be so ignorant. Those are our customs. Maybe so. Duncan is one of your people. However, not ours. This one's funny.
I suppose you're right. Thank you. Really, I mean it. It was good to talk about it, at least a little.
Anytime. Maybe you'll get to with you. I'll go to however with you when you go. He was a friend of mine too. Yes, well, just don't tell anyone. Let's get going. Maybe I'll go to however with you when you go. Anytime, Alistair Raham. Right?
I'd like that. So would he, I think.
Alright. He approves. We got that stuff done. Anything else we can
What
talk
do you
about?
need?
I'd like to ask you something.
Ask away.
What can a Templar do exactly? Yeah, we'll do that.
Essentially, they're trained to fight. The Chantry would tell you that the Templars exist simply to defend. But don't let them fool you. They're an army. The other main purpose for a Templar is, of course, to hunt mages. To that end, We train in talents that drain mana and disrupt spells.
So Templars can use magic themselves. Have you hunted many mages? Seems like the Templars could run the Chantry. So, couldn't others learn these talents?
Perhaps, but there usually isn't much of an opportunity. The Chantry keeps a close rein on its Templars. We are given lyrium to help develop our magical talents, you see. Which means we become addicted. And since the Chantry controls the lyrium trade with the dwarves, well, I'm sure you can put two and two together.
So you are addicted to this lyrium.
Thankfully, no. You only start receiving lyrium once you've taken your vows. You don't need lyrium in order to learn the Templar talents. Lyrium just makes Templar's talents more effective. Or so I was told. Maybe it doesn't even do that. The Chantry usually doesn't let their Templars get away either, so they can spread their secrets. I'm a bit of an exception. Lucky me. What do you need?
Ask
away.
So, you said this Arl Eamon raised you?
Did I say that? I meant that dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfells. A whole pack of them, in fact.
I thought you were raised by the Chantry. That would explain the smell. No. That's not what I remember you telling Flemeth.
Well, if you're going to go and pay attention to the facts, then fine. Let's see, how do I explain this? I'm a bastard. And before you make any smart comments, I mean the fatherless kind. My mother was a serving girl in Redcliffe Castle who died when I was very young. Arl Eamon wasn't my father, but he took me in anyhow and put a roof over my head. He was good to me, and he didn't have to be. I respect the man, and I don't blame him anymore for sending me off to the Chantry once I was old enough.
Why did he send you off? He wasn't your father, so you know who is.
Arl Eamon eventually married a young woman from Orlais, which caused all sorts of problems between him and the king because it was so soon after the war. But he loved her. Anyhow, then you, Arlessa, resented the rumors which pegged me as his bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10. Just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me.
You were probably luckier than most orphans. Wasn't it inappropriate for the Jarl or whatever, to raise an orphan? What's an awful thing to do to a child?
I suppose you're right. I wasn't raised as the Jarl's son, though, if you're picturing that. I slept in hay, out in the stables, not on silk sheets. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall and it shattered. Stupid thing to do. The Jarl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there, and blamed him for everything. And eventually, he just stopped coming.
You think the Jarl will help us? Are you sure he isn't your father?
Yes, I'm quite sure. At any rate, I don't look anything like him. You'll see for yourself. Not that it stopped the rumors any. All I know is that the Jarl is a good man, and well loved by the people. He also was King Cailan's uncle, so he has a personal motivation to see Loghain pay for what he did. Anyway, that's really all there is to the story.
Good, we're gonna kill Loghain off. Got all these checked off there. Alright, we got 5 minutes to spare. Kind of want to ask Morgan more questions. Yeah. Let's go ask Morgan one more question and then...
What do you wish of me?
I was to ask you something.
If you must.
Did you grow up in the Korokari wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
You can probe me anytime. Oh, I'm curious, what's wrong with that? Fine, I will leave you be. It's my favorite way to annoy you. Favorite way of annoying you.
Beg pardon then while I jump for joy. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
And you remained unnoticed. But you kept going back to the wilds. And I have a hard time picturing it.
For the most part, Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
You must have been looking quite the fool. Very daring. That sounds like you.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped, and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
That was quick thinking. What happened to the poor man? I'm supposed to be surprised. You're a good liar.
Who cares? As I recall, he was executed. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
I had no idea. I'm not a human. Touching like a handshake? Were you upset by all the bad touching?
To begin with, yes. What is the point of touching my hand? I find it an offensive intrusion. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
But here you are. You can go back if you like. I guess the joke's on you then. I'm glad it worked out this way, at least. Yeah, we'll go with this. I don't want to force her to stay here.
I have no qualm with the mission I have been set to. Flemeth was correct, like it or not. The Darkspawn are an enemy of all. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
She disapproved.
Yes? At times, perhaps. A world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees.
But you eventually left. And did they speak back? And that seemed normal to you?
What did I have to compare it with? In time, I began to wonder, of course. I recall the first time I crept beyond the edge of the wilds. I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. 'Twas encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds.
So you're a thief? Can't imagine Flemeth was pleased.
I saw what I desired, and I took it. Such a concept did not even exist to me. Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble. To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken.
But you were just a child. I have a hard time picturing you heartbroken.
And a foolish one. Flemeth was right to break me of my fascination. Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been.
I feel sorry for you, but you don't need to live that way any longer. They made you stronger, didn't they?
They did indeed. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
Alright, we got her approval back up. But, we had to end the video here. We'll finish the chats with these two. And then, oh, we gotta level up. Let's see. We'll go strength 30. And we'll go dexterity 1. Next. Let's see. Survival, yes. Should we do combat tactics? Previous. Next. Combat tactics, yeah. Next. And get that. Play. 2 tactic slots acquired. What? Strategies quickly in battling constantly gains combat tactics slots. It's a combat skill. Alright, I think we're good. Anyway. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to finish the conversations with these people in the next video, and then we'll go and get some stuff done. Anyway, other than that, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification if you want to be notified of every video I put out. And as always, stay awesome.